Holy shit, dude. That was one of the best workouts that I've had in a really long time. I had a really good feeling about this double SBD protocol. I guess it's the first week that we are implementing it. And I think it's gonna be really, really good because this fat session of primary squats, belt squat, 3 count pause bench, and then dips, and then sumo deadlift, comp deadlift. That was a lot to do, and it just felt so productive. And I was able to sustain my energy, my focus, my intensity throughout the entire workout from start to finish. I think a big player in that is honestly my nutrition. You know, I'm someone who takes her nutrition very, very seriously. Maybe not very, maybe just single very seriously. In a sense that I'm very aware of what my patterns are on a daily basis and what types of food I'm intaking peri-workout. This is not part of like standard powerlifting culture to be about your nutrition, to care enough of it. But I think I'm gonna make another video about nutrition because that's a whole topic that I can delve into really deep, from my history to disordered eating habits, you know, to body image, and then the actual protocols that make the difference in bridging the gap between what you think you need to do and what you actually do on a daily basis. But I'm gonna do that another time. Oh my god, this bus is making like a crazy turn right now. Holy shit, I need to back up. Oh. All right, we're good. Okay. What was I saying? Nutrition. I'm gonna talk about that another time. But back to today's workout. We started with squats, 4x3 at RPE 7. I only know what I hit last week at RPE 6.5 because it wasn't 6.5. It felt like I was dying or barely escaping death on every rep. But today, it actually felt like my body could push a lot more and sustain a lot of intensity a lot better, but it was still hard to gauge what exactly is RPE 7. So I did 127.5 first set, and I was like, okay, that was definitely sub 7. I was more conservative my first set, just because I'm thinking like, okay, if I want to, I can always go up in the next set. So I built some confidence, did 130, and I'm like, that still feels like sub 7. So again, on the third set, I went up to 132.5, which, if that's the number that I'm hitting today at a RPE 7 for triples, I'm very happy with that. It ended up being pretty much what I think a RPE 7 would be. And on the last set, it climbed up a little bit, maybe 7.5. So yeah, I was really happy with that. And then onto bench, I did 68.5 keys, which is a 2.5 kilo jump from the previous week. Again, I think it was pretty much moving as well as I wanted it to be. So can't complain at all. Funny enough, bench is actually the one that is kind of unaffected by the cut. I really thought that, generally speaking, when you cut weight, the first or the lift that gets affected the most is the bench press. But I guess I'm dead wrong. It's not skyrocketing, but I feel myself stacking chips on every bench session. Slowly but surely, I'm getting the hang of resting the bar just enough on my chest, just fine-tuning the balance between sinking it into my ribs a little bit, but also holding on to the tension across my pecs. After that, I did some dips, 3x8 at RPE 7.5. I did 2 of those little chains, which should add up to about maybe a little bit over 5 pounds. I really can't believe that I'm doing weighted dips for sets of 8. No problem. Last movement of the day was my pulls, my comp pulls, 3x5 at RPE 6.5, which I ended up doing 155 kilos, which is 341 pounds. It moved okay on the first set, you know, nothing special, but I don't know what I turned on the second set, because on the second set I remembered to just let my effort move the weight. You know, I'm definitely someone who thinks about technique, cues, this and that, little details on my lifts, and maybe it's something that served me well when I was first learning these movements and building my technique and building my skills and becoming technically sound on each lift. But perhaps I've gotten to the point where I really just need to turn my brain off and focus on how hard I can push. That's something that I've never really done before. Never, at least not consciously. I think it comes more natural to some lifters to lift that way, but I guess I'm the other kind. And so shout out to my coach Adam for reminding me of this, because that's exactly what one of his videos was about recently, of just, you know, stop thinking too much. You don't need to employ so many brain cells to understand how to lift a weight. Like, just lift it. You know, you've been doing this for so long, so many sessions under your belt. You can do it. Just work hard. But anyways, second and third set flew way better than the first set. And then I finished the workout on a really, really high note. So again, going back to what my nutrition was. I had a boat, which is overnight oats that I make, that I sell at my gym. And off the top of my head, I believe it has about 60 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fat, maybe 10, and then 30 grams of protein. That was my breakfast. I had that about an hour and a half to 2 hours before training. And then during my workout, I had 2 servings of Gatorade powder, which I actually don't know how many carbs this is. Hang on, let me do the math. If it's 160 calories and most of it is from carbs, maybe like 40 grams of carbs, right? That sounds about right. So 60 grams of carbs from the breakfast pre-workout meal, and then another 40 grams of carbs from the intra. That's 100 grams of carbs for the day. I think having that Gatorade powder has been such a lifesaver. If you're taking in your intra carbs after you've already felt that dip in energy, it's too late, right? I think you want to be taking those intra carbs before you feel that dip in energy, so that you're sustained. Because once you feel it and then you take the intra carbs, it's going to take some time to absorb into your system. And while it's taking that time to absorb into your system, you're still feeling like shit. And you don't want to ever feel like shit throughout the span of your session. I know a common thing in powerlifting too is to eat candy, like gummy bears, gummy worms, sour strips, stuff like that. Personally, it's not really my thing. I think once in a while, I'm okay with it. The only reason why I have stuff like that is because like I get it for free or someone gives it to me. But it's not my preference. The Gatorade powder, what makes it so good is because you mix it into a liquid, and so it gets digested much, much faster. It takes no energy at all from my body to absorb that and turn that into energy right away. With something like gummy bear, gummy worm, sour strips, Sour Patch Kids, you gotta chew it and then you gotta swallow it. It gets stuck in your teeth, and the taste is so harsh that I feel like it assaults my taste buds. I don't really like that. So yeah, if you take anything from this video, from this yap, and you're a lifter, and you don't take your nutrition seriously, at least the window before and during your training, at least take that seriously, because it's gonna make a world of a difference. You don't even know until you do it. Okay, bye.